YouTube, I just got my order of Commander Masters Commander decks. So what we're going to be doing is play testing this Commander deck for the new players, so that any new players looking to play the Planeswalker Party Commander deck, you know what order to play your cards in, so that as you play against your friends or any opponent, you have a good chance of beating them in a game with this Commander deck. Keep in mind, guys, I just spent a lot of money on these Commander decks, and because of that, I have no sleeves. So when I do this playtest, I'm going to be doing them without any sleeves. So just bear with me. You are more than welcome to go into the comment section below and complain per usual when I do these playtests without sleeves. At the end of the video, we do have this Commander Masters pack that we're going to get open, so we see what cards we have inside here. But first, we got to shuffle this up. Okay, so now that the commander deck is completely shuffled, what we're going to do is take a look at our commander. Our commander is Commodore Guff. He reads, at the beginning of your end step, put a loyalty counter on another target planeswalker you control. You can +1 Commodore Guff to create a 1/1 red oh my god, say that 5 times fast. Create a 1/1 red wizard creature token with tap to add a red mana. That would look like that. And then you can -3 to draw X cards and deal X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of planeswalkers we control. So that -3 can hopefully be used to knock people out of the game and to just keep us in the game, right? So we're gonna go ahead and draw 7 and we'll see what we get. So first cards we get are a Oreskos Explorer. It's good to see. Island. Narset. Oh. Path to Exile, okay. Oath of Gideon. It's a 6 and 7. We only have 1 land in here, so we're actually gonna have to do this again. Okay, Jace Valerian, Gatewatch Beacon, Talisman of Progress, Bog Bank, Mystic Monastery, Nahiri. 7. We have 7 cards here, and a Skycloud Expanse. Yeah, we can definitely keep this hand. I like this because we have a ton of things that we can play early. We have a good amount of mana rocks to play. So what we're gonna do is start. We'll draw for turn, and we'll draw into a plains, which is absolutely perfect. Actually, we play this tapped Mystic Monastery just because it enters tapped, and then we'll go from there. We'll untap, and then we'll draw into Narset again. What's up, Narset? Narset's a really powerful card, guys. Let's see if we can get this card into play so you guys can see what she does. We'll play the plains, and just so that we can, you know, speed things up, we'll tap 2. We'll play our Talisman of Progress so that this adds another mana. So essentially we just put another land in play, new players. Just so you guys know, like, whenever you see a card that says tap to add mana, kind of like this Gatewatch Beacon as well, we want to get these on the battlefield as early as possible, just because it speeds up how quickly we're going to be able to play. Because when we untap and we draw for our next turn, we'll go ahead and play our land. And now, instead of us having only 3 lands in play, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of, because it acts like a land. Technically, what we could do is, in this situation, I can put this land over here off to the side, and then I can go 1, 2, 3. I can put the Gatewatch Beacon to play. This enters the battlefield with 3 loyalty counters on it. So we're gonna put 3 counters on this, and now this taps for a mana. So we're gonna go ahead and tap this for a mana, and then we'll tap this land over here because this needs us to tap another mana to tap this. And we'll play a Fog Bank. Now our Fog Bank is a perfect card to play here because it's a defender with flying and says prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and by Fog Bank. So essentially we just have an infinite blocker here until somebody decides to use the removal on a dumb Fog Bank. And then we would just untap, we would pass turn. We would draw into the Oath of Gideon, which is going to put some tokens into play, and each planeswalker we control is going to enter the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter, which would be good when that happens. But right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana, and because we have 5 mana, we can essentially play any Planeswalker we want and be able to defend it pretty well, which is pretty good that we have this fog bank here. So I think that I want to draw more cards. So I think that what we're gonna do is just get Jace onto the battlefield and then just start drawing cards. You know, who doesn't like to draw cards? So we're gonna go blue, white, and we'll play Jace. And Jace is gonna enter the battlefield with 3 loyalty counters on him, and then we're gonna +2. That's so difficult to see actually, so we're just gonna swap out that dice with 3 loyalty counters on him, and then we're gonna +2 him to go to 5. So every player on the battlefield is gonna draw a card. Guys, we don't really want our opponents to be drawing cards, so we'll just do this one time just to like, oh hey guys, like everybody's gonna get to draw a card, everybody's gonna be happy. And that's how you slowly manipulate people into allowing you to win the game. And so everybody's gonna draw. We'll draw into a Spark Shaper Visionary, which is a card that has a lot of words that I feel like explaining. And then we're going to go ahead and just pass the turn after that. People are probably not gonna be attacking us because we're allowing people to draw cards. So we will just untap, hopefully draw into a land here. It's Gideon. Gideon is famously not a land. So what we're gonna do is -1 our Jace to target player draws a card so that we draw a card. And Saheeli is also not a land. And because none of them are lands, we're gonna end up paying 4 mana here. And we're gonna play Nahiri the Harbinger, who's gonna enter the battlefield with 4 loyalty counters, and then we can +2 Nahiri up to 6. It says we can discard a card. Guys, I'm just gonna discard Gideon, and then we're gonna draw a card because we did that, and we draw into another card that's not a land. And then we would pass, and you would have to imagine that because we have Nahiri on the battlefield, you know, we're probably gonna start getting attacked now. And because that's the case, we use our fog back to defend, but I would imagine Nahiri would end up taking damage, so we're just going to end up taking this down to 4. And this is part of the reason why, guys, on a side note, why playing Planeswalkers is a pretty powerful strategy, because, you know, we still have 40 points as our life total, and Planeswalkers themselves, their loyalty counters are their life, and it just makes it so that our opponents just end up attacking our Planeswalkers instead of us, which artificially kind of gains us life, which can feel annoying to play against, and which is why this deck, I think this deck is probably going to, other than the Sliver deck, and even that Eldrazi deck, all these decks, once they're upgraded, are going to be incredibly powerful just based on the nature of how these things play. We do draw into a land here, which is exactly what we've been looking for the past, you know, 2 turns. So what we're going to do is -1 the Jace again so that we just draw a card, and we play Chandra, Awakened Inferno. Guys, I kind of like this commander deck. This is pretty fun to have all these Planeswalkers. So yeah, we just got Chandra, and I think what we're gonna do here though is play Narset. So we're gonna go ahead and play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will play our Narset. Narset has First Strike and Hexproof. Because she has First Strike, she makes her a good blocker against our opponents. Let's say somebody attacked us with something strong that hit Nahiri. We'll -2 Nahiri to exile that creature, because Nahiri can do that. And now we don't have to worry about that creature attacking us. We'll pass a turn here. Let's say somebody takes out Nahiri, so we lose Nahiri, that's fine. And then what we'll do is untap with our Narset and draw. Remember, Narset has, we'll play this Forge of Hero. Narset has Hexproof, so she can't be targeted by removal spells, which is why she's just incredibly awesome. Now, in this situation here, we did put a land into play, and I'm thinking here we immediately just go to combat. How about we -1 Jace here to draw a card into the Wanderer, which is a card that's a Planeswalker. We'll go to combat here, and we'll attack into one of our opponents. let's say that somebody's gonna block Narset with something that's gonna destroy Narset. So we'll tap the Gatewatch Beacon to path to exile that creature, so that creature is gonna go away, so we keep our Narset alive. And now her attack trigger is gonna go off. It says, we exile the top 4 cards of our library until the end of turn. We can cast non-creature spells from among those cards without paying their mana cost. So 4 free spells potentially, not a free spell. We get Narset. That's funny. Narset into Narset. Another land. Now we're finding all the lands. Yeah, now we find all the lands, guys. You know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. You know, not all of our lands that we needed are exiled. That goes over there. But we get to keep Narset of the Ancient Way, which is going to enter the battlefield with 4 loyalty counters, essentially gaining us 4 life. And then we'll go ahead and go to our second main phase here after we did that. And let's just start being oppressive. We can +1 this to add a red mana to our mana pool. We would also gain 2 life, which is why this deck is going to be good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, and then we're gonna go ahead and play Chandra. Oh, guys, this deck feels like I feel like I'm throwing haymakers right now at this deck. It feels super good. We're playing Chandra Awakened Inferno, and now that we have Chandra in play, I'm gonna tap this to put an extra loyalty counter on this. So that's gonna enter the battlefield with 7 loyalty counters on it. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna +2 this up to 9 loyalty counters, and then each opponent is going to get an emblem. So all of your opponents are going to get an emblem that says, at the beginning of your upkeep, this emblem deals 1 damage to you. So essentially putting them on a 40 turn clock if they're at 40 life. We're going to then untap. We're going to draw into a Myriad Landscape, which is good. We're going to play that Myriad. Actually, no, we're going to -1 Jace here. We'll draw a card into Oath of Teferi. Oh man, we're gonna end up playing this Oath of Teferi. We're a +1 this. Guys, this is new players. There is so much happening right now that, you know, if you really want to learn how to flex your Magic the Gathering muscles and learn how to handle all this stuff, deck is definitely going to be a challenge for you to learn how to play. So just keep that in mind. We're going to +1 Narset to add blue mana to our mana pool. And then we're going to go ahead and tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll play Oath of Teferi. So now every Planeswalker we have twice each turn, which is just absolutely insane right now, because I can then -Jace again to draw another card, which is going to be a Frostboil Snarl, which is good because that wasn't a land I had to exile with Narset, so we get another card. I can activate Chandra's Awakened Inferno twice, so that's going to go from 11 up to 13 loyalty counters, and now our opponents have 3 emblems that are causing them 1 damage at the beginning of their turn or their upkeep. And then technically I could go ahead and -2 Narset, but my brain is starting to hurt from all the different things that is happening, so I'm just not going to do that. We'll go to combat, we'll attack with Narset, because at this point I don't even think I care if we lose the Narset. We're going to exile the 4. We're going to get a Jaya's Phoenix. Oh man, guys, we're getting Jaya's Phoenix, an Honor-Worn Shaku, a Mountain, and a Prairie Stream. So all of the non-creature spells that we have would be these. Man, that's another 1 mana thing. So Narset not looking so good as she normally is, but you know, we get an Honor-Worn Shaku, whatever. So our Planeswalkers tap for mana, essentially. And because of that, we're gonna tap the Narset. 1, 2, let's go 3, 4. Do we have another mana here? No, we don't have the extra colored land that we would need. Unless I +1 Narset again up to 7. Actually, we do have the mana that we need. So we're gonna +1 that Narset so that we can get that 6 mana. Wow, guys, this is kind of wild. And we'll play our commander, which then says, oh man, we draw X cards. Guys, I think we're good here, actually. There's just so many things happening. We're 18 minutes into this, and I think I've been talking for 18 minutes straight. You know, for new players, I would tell you guys, like, be prepared. There's a lot that goes on into playing this deck. Also, be prepared that when you're playing this commander deck, that people are just going to be targeting you a lot, man. Like, a lot. But the thing is that because this deck has ways to protect your planeswalkers, like this creature over here, it has ways to put counters on your planeswalkers. We also got very lucky and we drew into some very powerful planeswalkers here like Chandra, which is just going to deal damage, unstoppable damage to our opponents for as long as it stays on the battlefield. This Chandra is amazing, guys. And it really just puts your opponents in a position where they all have to target you to take you out of the game, because if not, you end up just amassing a board state of a bunch of creatures that are difficult creatures, planeswalkers that are difficult to remove. And it's almost like you have to target this player, knock this player out of the game, the Commodore Guff player, and then the game can start. Because if you don't, this deck easily just builds a board state that you know, it's one thing to have a bunch of creatures on the board and to like have a powerful board state. It's a whole other thing to have 6 or 7 planeswalkers on the board that get to activate their abilities twice with cards like Oath of Teferi. And I know there's a lot more cards in the deck that allow you to do the same exact thing. So, you know, I am a fan of this. I'm a fan of this deck, actually. I know that's why I rated this deck as the 3rd strongest deck in this set, because of the impressive showing that it just had. So that's going to be that playtest, guys. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section below. We're going to go ahead and open this Commander Masters pack, and hopefully we got something good. We got something good in the last pack. This is a collector booster sample pack, so you would have to imagine that there are good cards in the collector boosters. So we have Gisela Blade. Oh, dude! We have Gisela Blade of Gold Knight, which is... Dude, look at that art! This is amazing, guys. I'm so happy about this right now. Not foil, but whatever. And then Return to Dust, which is meh, but we can exile things and it looks cool and it's foil. But dude, Gisela, let's go. That's going into the Kalia commander deck. Guys, I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for understanding that I have no sleeves. If you want to see more videos like this, you guys can subscribe, and remember that in the future, if you guys keep subscribing, I may have sleeves, okay? Always remember, eat healthy, okay? Work out every single day. Most importantly, you guys got to remember to believe in yourself, all right, new players? Peace out.